changed his lineup for the third game. He brought Cecil Fielder, Darryl Strawberry, and Charlie Hayes into the lineup. And let's see how they'll line up tonight in Game 4. And you're not surprised, there aren't any changes to the Yankee lineup. Fielder stays at first, Strawberry stays in right, Charlie Hayes stays at third base, and the new pitcher is Kenny Rogers.
Tremendous amount of pressure on Kenny Rogers. Earlier in the year, George Steinbrenner, the owner, got all over him, criticizing for not pitching the way he should be pitching because he is making $5 million a year, and he really had some problems this year. And the questions is his guts. They're questioning his guts.
He had trouble adjusting to the pressure in New York, and now this is the biggest game of his career.
This is it. He's really got to have a good game. I think it's important for his own future.
And if there's a weak spot in that Yankee lineup, it's not really the hitting, it's more the fielding.
Well, defensively at second base, Mariano Duncan, he can get a ball right to him and it'll go right through his legs. You just never know what he's going to do. And Cecil Fielder at first base had a very good game last night, but he's a guy who is erratic, so you don't know what he's going to do.
Now, when we come back, we'll look at how the Braves will line up in the field, so don't go away. Minutes away from the pivotal game, so let's see how the Braves will line up behind their starter, Denny Nagel. And we've got a change in the Braves lineup because in the outfield, Ryan Klesko sits down against the left-handed Kenny Rogers, and Jermaine Dye will move into left field. That makes the outfield a whole lot faster.
A lot better than last night's game. Yeah, both Dye and Jones are very good outfielders with good arms, and Grissom is one of the best in the league.
And Rico said before the game yesterday that Jeff Blauser was the potential weak link in Atlanta's defense, and he made a crucial error yesterday.
Yeah, he's really not having a good series. In past series, he did a good job. He had a so-so season this year. He may be hurting a little bit, I don't know, but I haven't seen him this bad in a long time.
Now, Nagel's a guy who came over from Pittsburgh to Atlanta midway through the season. He was a big winner with a bad team in Pittsburgh. But how does he fit in with this Atlanta staff?
Well, I think he's very good. He's a different type of pitcher than Maddox and Glavine. He's not as much of a control pitcher as they are. I think he's very hittable. If he's not on tonight, if he's not on his game, then the Yankees are going to really hit him tonight. But he's got to be really on the corners, and he's got to get the curveball and changeup over the plate.
Now, in the first two games, the Yankees had scouted Atlanta, and it looked like they were swinging at a lot of first pitches. And last night, it looked like they waited. They took a lot more of those first pitches. Against Nagel, they'll take again?
You know, that was a strategy to take that because the Brave pitchers believe in, and Leo Mazzoni, their pitching coach, believes that the first pitch is the most important. It should be a strike. So the Yankees were swinging at it, and it didn't work for them. And just the opposite happened in last night's game. They waited. I think they should do the same thing tonight. I think they'll wait to hit later on in the count.
Now, if you're Bobby Cox, we said they might have been lethargic. He might have been a bit conservative. You put Jermaine Dye in the lineup, but otherwise it's unchanged. What do you tell your guys before the game?
Well, he doesn't have many meetings. He had one, I think, in the playoffs when they were behind against St. Louis, 3-1. He just said, at a 5-minute meeting, and just said, you know, I believe we're going to win this thing. Don't get down on yourselves. And they went out there and won it. And that's probably the type of meeting that he'll have, if anything. But these guys have been there before. Many of them have played in World Series, so they're veterans of World Series play.
Is the pressure in Atlanta anything like the pressure in New York?
No. No, there's nothing like the pressure in New York, believe me.
Not even Boston?
Boston is very close, very close. It might be a tie, but New York is very, very tough to play and very demanding. And now in Atlanta, the fans expect the team to win, but they don't really get on them as much if they don't win.
Now, as a player, both the World Series you were in went to 7 games, and they were both very good World Series. As the series wears on and each game seems to become more and more important, do you feel that pressure inside?
Yeah, that's when you really feel it. You don't really feel the pressure early on because you're just so happy to be in the World Series. But as it goes on and you have a chance to win, you start getting nervous. And if it gets down to the 7th game, then anything can happen. And after a while, you start thinking, you know, I could be the GOAT of this thing. What if a ball goes through my legs? They'll remember me for the rest of my life making a messed up play. You know, so you don't want that to happen.
Okay, there's Denny Nagel. We're about to get started. Let's cross over to our commentators at Fulton County Stadium, Gary Thorne, and that New York Yankee, Rick Cerrone.
Squaring to bunt, taking it Tim Raines, the switch hitter, and we are underway in Game 4. It has really been a magnificent day here in Atlanta weather-wise, one of those beautiful early fall days. Clear skies, lots of sun. It's 57 degrees now at game time. Little breeze blowing, but the breeze doesn't affect this ballpark very much. And Raines takes the pitch up high. Nagel falls behind early. 2 balls and no strikes. Total postseason numbers for him, as well as the 3 for 9 that he has had here in the World Series games. Tim Raines. They're drawn in at the corners looking for a bunt. Nagel puts it in.
You have to be patient with Nagel. Make him throw strikes. Try to get the ball towards the middle of the plate, because he's got that excellent changeup that usually sinks down and away from the right-hand hitters.
28-year-old. Raines again looking to bunt. Takes the pitch. It's on the outside corner. Steve Ripley of the National League is the home plate umpire for tonight's game. Home plate umpires rotated. American one night, National the other. There's the crew working the game. Ripley from the National League, where they tend to give you some pretty good strikes if you're a pitcher.
Well, that strike zone we had last night, Tim Welke gave a lot of strikes.
And it's up high, and Nagel takes the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The Yankees have not lost on the road in postseason. They have won all 6 games they've played. First time in postseason history that a team has won 6 consecutive games on the road in the same year. Not easy to do. Raines is gone. Danny Nagel gets the strikeout.
Just a fastball up and out over the plate. Raines swings right through it. See where that ball beats him. It's already past him when he's trying to make contact.
Danny Nagel has struck out 131 in 182 innings during the regular season. Goes to work here against Jeter, and a strike in the inside corner. Derek Jeter, great postseason here in the World Series. A couple of hits and 8 at-bats. He'll have Jones in at third base on the grass. Way outside. He goes after it. 0-2.
See, that's what he wants you to do. He wants to get ahead of you early. The Braves pitchers love to get first pitch strikes, and then they're able to use their off-speed pitches.
Jeter, a very good hitter against left-handers, .340 during the season.
Look at that ball. It starts on the plate but winds up off the plate away.
And then he'll bust you back.
Yeah, just to show you inside. Most left-handers want to show you the fastball inside, but they really want to get you out of the way.
See if he goes back outside with that pitch down and away again to try and get Jeter to chase it one more time. Well, came back inside on him. Missed. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 down. Danny Nagel started 27 games with Pittsburgh, went 14-6. 6 games with the Atlanta Braves, had 2 wins and 3 losses. Not a good ERA, 5.59 in those 6 starts with Atlanta. And Jeter will not chase that one either. Let it go outside.
It's
Good job by Jeter here.
Yeah, that ball, that's the one that Raines swung through, but getting to Nagel, the 2 and 3 with the Braves. Whenever you're traded, you want to impress so bad, and you want to try to do a little bit more than you're capable of.
Way inside, and it takes it full again. 3-2.
And Nagel's a guy that you really can't be too pumped up. I know this is the World Series, game 4, huge game, but he has to throw the ball with finesse and thought. He can't try to overpower hitters. He's not that type of pitcher.
Jeter with a 3-2 count. Two strikeouts on 3-2 pitches.
Remember, we said right off the bat, he wants to get you out with balls that are out of the strike zone. Raines swings at a high fastball. Jeter swings at a high fastball. 2 strikeouts early in the game.
Not what the Yankees wanted there.
Look at the defense. Blauser's been struggling. Only error for the Braves in the World Series. You have a great outfield in Jones, Grissom, and Dye. Super throwing arms in the outfield.
They can cover some ground. There is Jeff Blauser. Missed a lot of the season with injuries. Bobby Cox wanted him in there in the World Series and the playoffs, and he's there. Bernie Williams up. Bernie Williams now with 6 home runs in the postseason has tied the record for most home runs ever in postseason play. So if he can get 1 more here in this World Series, he will have a postseason record. 7 home runs. 0-1 count on him.
Yeah, you look at the names. Bernie Williams at the top of the list. Junior did it last year. Wasn't in the World Series. Dykstra did it in '93, and Bob Robertson in '71 with the Pirates.
Denny Nagel works outside, and a ball and a strike with 2 down here on Bernie Williams.
And we've told you Bernie Williams' numbers from the right side of the plate. His home run ratio, unbelievable. About once every 10 at bats. Much stronger from the right side. He really uses his legs a lot better, and he's a lot stronger. A natural right-hand hitter.
Nagel again outside to him. 2 balls and 1 strike. Denny Nagel will give up a lot of hits usually in his starts, as he had the 5th highest total hits given up by National League pitchers this year. He works a lot with runners on base. Takes the count deep a lot, but is confident enough in his stuff, especially the changeup, to do that. Comes back inside with a fastball. 2-2. You see how he moves it around. Already we've seen in this first inning. Foot outside, foot inside, then the outside corner, then the inside corner.
Well, he doesn't have enough stuff to throw it right down the middle. He's got to be fine on the corners, and a guy like this needs to work a lot. That's why his control might be a little bit off because of the lack of work in the postseason.
He has taken all 3 hitters in the first inning to a full count. He has struck out the first 2.
Both on high fastballs up and out over the plate. You see if he goes to that with Bernie Williams.
Three-two pitch. Shallow right field. Dye. Misjudged a little, goes back to get it. So 3-2 on all 3 Yankees, but Denny Nagel gets it done, retiring the side in order. Atlanta coming up.
So Denny Nagel sets down the Yankees 1-2-3. Atlanta is going to be coming up to bat, and let's take a look at their batting order when they do. Marquise Grissom is still the leadoff. There's no change in the first 4 positions, but with Klesko out, Javier Lopez moves up to 5. Jones moves up to 6, and Jermaine Dye comes in at 7. Blauser bats 8th. And it's a balanced lineup. It's not a great hitting lineup. There aren't as many big bats as the Yankees have.
No, Klesko hit 34 home runs this past year. He's out of the lineup. It's actually the lineup that won the first 2 games, so maybe it'll continue the way that it went in the first 2 games.
It's amazing. Bobby Cox has the confidence in 2 youngsters like Jermaine Dye and Andrew Jones to be able to take a 34 home run hitter out of the lineup.
It's true, and he does. He has a lot of confidence in them, and they've been coming through for him. So you got to go with what got you there.
Now, what can they expect from Kenny Rogers?
Kenny Rogers throws a lot of slow curveballs, sinkers, fastball that tails down to the hitters. And he normally, in his good games, he has very good control. He'll hit the outside corner, the inside corner. But he has really not shown consistency this past year. So he might start out good and then all of a sudden start getting the ball right over the plate, and this is what Atlanta's looking for.
Now, Atlanta's hitters have been pretty good against left-handers, including McGriff, who bats from the left side. But Andrew Jones especially seems to really like left-handed pitching. Yeah,
Andrew Jones, the youngster, he's 19 years old, hit a couple of home runs in New York. He may have trouble with Rogers because Rogers throws that slow curveball, and he has a decent changeup. So I don't think he's going to see too many fastballs to hit.
Now, it's interesting because twice last night, Tim Welke punched out Andrew Jones on strikeouts, called third strikes, balls that he let go. Both of them were outside the strike zone. The second one was way outside the strike zone. He's a 19-year-old kid. Will this have any effect on him?
I doubt it. I think he's in a fog right now, meaning a good fog. I mean, he's so happy to be in the World Series. No, he's so happy to be in the World Series, and he's had success. He probably can't wait to get out there.
To Field of Dreams. I was starting to think of as you went. You lost me there. The guy who's been hitting the ball for Atlanta is Marquise Grissom.
Great series he's having. Well, he's a good player. He got over 200 hits this past year, and he continues in the World Series. He's an outstanding outfielder. He can run the bases. He's just an all-around player. So he's a good one. He'll probably continue to do it for them.
Okay, let's take the New York Yankees defensive lineup and take a quick look at that. And there you see the outfield, the weak links, Darryl Strawberry and Tim Raines in left and right, and Mariano Duncan at second base. Cecil Fielder, who you wonder about sometimes at first base. We said he doesn't cover a lot of grounds, but he's got good hands. But he actually covered quite a bit of ground in that game.
Did a nice job in last night's game, and they hope that he can do the same thing this game.
And that's Kenny Rogers. This is his first edition in the World Series. And the first batter he faces is Marquise Grissom. He's already thrown one ball to Grissom. Let's rejoin our announcers in Atlanta.
Those are his postseason numbers for this year. That one misses outside, 2-0.
You look at his ERA, 10-8. 5 innings, 10 hits, 4 walks. Has not been impressive in the postseason.
That one grounded to second as it was reached for. Duncan makes the play, and that's not a good at-bat for Marquise Grissom. Really helped the pitcher. One down.
Especially in a 2-0 pitch, you want to get a good pitch to hit. He swung at a bad pitch and got the ground ball. It was Girardi last night throwing out 2 base runners. We haven't had a lot of base stealing in this series, but they were huge last night, especially in the close ball game. Strawberry gets the start in right field over O'Neill, and Cecil Fielder gets the start over Tino Martinez at first base.
One down, and a strike on the outside corner against Mark Lemke. Lemke, the switch hitter. And you see the width of that strike zone right there on that call. These hitters are going to have to come up there swinging if Steve Ripley stays with that strike zone. Rogers is going to test it. Missed outside with a 1-1. Mark Lemke against the Southpaws, a .219 hitter during the season. But put away the season numbers when you talk about Mark Lemke and hitting, because in the postseason he's another guy.
Yeah, a different guy goes into that uniform, but he still wears the same jersey. He steps it up. He has hit in 12 straight games this postseason.
He's got a .325 career World Series batting average. And outside, Kenny Rogers, a lot on that one. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 down.
Hey, Gary, he's got a new nickname going around the clubhouse. Little October.
Little
You know
October.
how Mr. October, Reggie, they used to call Reggie Jackson Mr. October. Well, Lemke's Little October.
That's a good name. That one fits. He takes it outside, 3-2.
And it's funny, he likes it. He says, yeah, I like that, Little October. Just as long as we keep playing in the World Series, you can call me anything you want.
31-year-old whose career batting average is .248 during the regular season and .325 in the World Series. Ground ball to third. Charlie Hayes on the hop. Plenty of time. Over to Cecil Fielder. There are 2 down.
You know, Gary, it's easy to say to be patient and get a good pitch to hit. But when you're up there, you want to be aggressive. But we look so far, the first 5 hitters of this ball game has helped the pitchers out. They've all swung at bad pitches and got themselves out. You have to be patient against pitchers like Nagel and Rogers. Force them to throw strikes.
Especially with Kenny Rogers not having worked since October 12. I mean, he's had 10 days off since the last time he went to the mound to pitch. That is a long time.
Especially for a guy that has to have pinpoint control to be effective.
1 strike count, and outside to Chipper Jones. Chipper, a switch hitter as well, .295 against the lefties. Overall this postseason, he has put up some sparkling numbers for the Atlanta Braves.
He is just going to get better and better. I think you could pencil in 30 and 100 for Chipper Jones each year.
He's only 24 years old and a .290 career hitter already. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Rogers with a fastball missed inside. 2-1. Why would Girardi go out and talk to him before that pitch?
Well, actually, Kenny Rogers called him out. And I think you saw from that last pitch, maybe he said, okay, we've worked everybody away. Let's go inside. That's the only thing I could think of.
2-1, grounded to short. Jeter makes the play, and that will do it in the first inning. So both these pitchers retire the opposition in order in the first. Here in Game 4 of the '96 World Series, it's scoreless.
Control control of their pitches. They got them down in the strike zone. They're off-speed pitchers, fooling the hitters a little bit. And it's tough, as the Rick Cerrone says, to have patience. But, you know, you see that ball, and it's not real fast, and it looks real fat up there, but it's off-speed. It gets you off balance. It's tough to lay off.
Balance is one of the keys to it. I think it was Whitey Ford who said, I pitch with a string tied to the hitter's front foot, and I can pull the string anytime I want. Denny Nagel misses with the first pitch to Big Daddy, Cecil Fielder. Didn't pull the string on Cecil's front foot. Might get an earthquake if he fell over, and they did. Let's go back to Atlanta.
He has gotten it done when he's had some runners on. 1 ball, 1 strike to him.
His hits have been very productive, and he cuts down his swing. The one thing against left-handed pitching, kind of neutralizes most of his power. He only had 11 home runs against lefties this year out of his 39.
Cecil Fielder, .275 batting average against the Southpaws. A little higher than he had against right-handers, but as Rick said, not nearly the power. 28-11 in home runs, better side against right-handers. Check swing to second base. Mark Lemke will make the play, and there's one at bat Cecil Fielder would like to have back, and excuse me, ground ball out.
Well, that is the worst thing a hitter can do. You have lost an at bat and you haven't even taken a swing. Watch Cecil here. I mean, you're trying to get out of the way, you make contact. That used to happen to me a lot. I used to say, how come the ball can't go foul in that situation? Always went fair. And a lot of people would say, when I took my best swing, that was the same result.
They were asking the same question. How come that ball doesn't go foul?
How come it never went foul?
One away here in the second inning. Charlie Hayes with an 0 for 6 here in the World Series, fouls it back. He is on in place of Wade Boggs, starting at third base again in this game. Hayes 3 for 6 lifetime against Nagel. Saw him in the National League when Hayes was playing there. Joe Torre hoping the Hayes game last night will continue tonight, as Hayes contributed by moving a couple of runners along in key situations for the Yankees, even though he did not come away with a hit.
Yeah, productive outs. There's Wade Boggs. He's sitting. He's actually swinging the bat better in the World Series, but Torre wanted to keep Hayes in the lineup. They won last night. Don't change anything. They had really been struggling, and Hayes also has seen Denny Nagel in his career. I think that's one of the reasons why also.
Nagel just missing on the last one. 2 ball 1 strike count to Hayes. Comes back with a fastball, and that misses too, and Nagel's looking in wondering. He thought he had those last 2 in the strike zone. Joe Torre, the baseball handed to him by Wetland after the game, his first ever World Series victory as a manager, player, or anything else for that matter. That one to die in right field. So a comeback by Nagel to get Hayes after falling behind, 2 down.
Gary, you know what Nagel's forcing the Yankee hitters? He's forcing them to go to right field. Very few balls they've been able to pull so far. You think back, Bernie Williams, the little fly ball to right field there, Hayes, Raines, and Jeter, they struck out, but everything has been away. And you know, you got to move up on the plate if you're a right-hand hitter. Try to take that outside part of the plate away from these Braves pitchers.
Denny Nagel, 2 down, nobody on, faces Darryl Strawberry. Strawberry kept in the lineup for that powered bat here in a ballpark, as we said, that is noted for giving up home runs, a park that is favorable to fly ball hitters, which Strawberry is. 2 down here, nobody on. Even though Strawberry and Nagel were in the National League, Strawberry did not face Nagel but once, 0 for 1 against him. They just weren't around at the same times. 2-0 delivery. Holds up on that one. They want to check to third. No. Jim Evans at third base. And the count is 3-0 on Strawberry.
Nagel this year had more troubles getting left-hand hitters out. Left-handers hit 288 against Nagel, where right-handers only hit 264.
Yeah, he had the green light on the 3-0 and fouls it off. 3-1.
That's the aggressive style of Torre. Go ahead. He's a home run hitter. Normally you let home run hitters hit 3-0. Single, double hitters, you give them the take because a walk is as good as what they can do.
Got nobody on base there anyway, so go at him.
Went back to the shift. Look at the shift again. 1, 2, 3 infielders on that side. Nobody on the left side of the diamond except for Chipper Jones.
Oh, by his little lonesome. 3-1 pitch, perfectly played. Lemke, or the shortstop rather, Blauser, in the second baseman's position. So the shift that Bobby Cox did not use in last night's game, but uses here in this game, denies Strawberry a base hit. We're scoreless.
Now you saw that shift they used for Darryl Strawberry and the way they...
Because the runner at second base can relay it to the hitter, and they'll know where the pitch is and what pitch is coming.
And you saw Joe Girardi give the sign to Kenny Rogers. The first pitch was outside to Fred McGriff. Lefty against lefty. Let's go back to Atlanta.
Back to work here, bottom half of the second inning. Fred McGriff, Javi Lopez, and Andrew Jones due up. McGriff takes the pitch outside. Fred McGriff with the 15 postseason RBIs, setting the record. But Bernie Williams is right behind him now for most RBIs ever in postseason play. Williams has got 14, just one shy of McGriff's 15 this year. Kenny Rogers got it in off the fist. Outside of third, Charlie Hayes.
What an effort by Charlie Hayes. They had played the shift on McGriff, which I don't understand, because he actually drives the ball against left-handers the other way. If he's playing in his normal position, he makes this play. Look at the effort. Watch out.
He got up, came back.
You see where they're playing on the infield? Playing him to pull on the ground.
Outfield playing him around the other way on the fly ball. See, the infield shifted over.
And if we think back to when Jimmy Key pitched game 2, McGriff hit balls the opposite field against the left-handers and back up the middle. 325 hitter against left-handed pitching this year.
3-1, that's drilled to center field, way back. Williams, warning track, wall, goodbye, home run. Fred McGriff, 1-0 Braves.
Well, it doesn't matter where you're going to play Fred McGriff. If he gets balls up in the strike zone, he takes them out of the yard. He has put big hurt on the Yankee left-handers in this series, and he's been their most productive hitter. Remember, we talked about it in game 2. If you're going to pitch left-handers against them, their best hitter happens to be their number 4 hitter against left-handed pitching. Great extension, powers that ball out to center field.
Fred McGriff, his 5th home run of the postseason and his 2nd against the Yankees. He now has a major league record 16 postseason RBIs. And a 1-0 lead. Kenny Rogers gave up only 3 home runs to left-handers during the regular season.
Well, McGriff's not your typical left-hander. He stands way off the plate, likes to go towards the pitcher, doesn't bail at all against left-handers.
A 1-0 lead. The Braves go on top here in the second inning using the long ball. Javi Lopez takes the pitch inside. 3 balls and no strikes on Lopez.
You're Rogers. You can't lose your focus. You got to regroup, get back to throwing strikes.
This is where Joe Torre gets very concerned with Kenny Rogers.
Well, that's what he said. He said, listen, he wants them to be aggressive. Just be aggressive, throw strikes. It's only 1 run. That's it, 1 run. Get back to pitching.
He walks him. First walk given up by Rogers puts Lopez on with nobody out. Mel Stottlemyre, the pitching coach, and it's Torre who's going to come out, not Mel Stottlemyre. And it's a medical visit or not? Nope.
No, this might be a little chewing out, which, you know, just refocus. Don't let the home run bother you. Go back to pitching. Nothing you can do about it.
Joe Torre wanted this set himself.
Yeah, he didn't want to send Mel out there. This is something the manager needs to do. Just talk to him. Boy, McGriff has gotten hot at the right time, hasn't he?
402 to dead center, and that's where he hit that ball. He is a powerful left-handed hitter.
Look at this. Just, I mean, he stands away. Look at how he goes in towards the pitch, and then the big high finish, almost like a golfer. Finish high. That forces the extension of the swing.
You could see his eyes light up as he watched that ball go, couldn't you?
He knows.
He had 11 home runs off left-handers during the regular season, 17 off right-handers. A 1-strike count on Andrew Jones. 3 for 11 in the World Series for the 19-year-old who takes the strike in the inside corner. Atlanta Braves have used the long ball to their advantage throughout the playoffs. And they have now hit 4 against the Yankees, while the Yankees have only 1 against them. Overall, they've out-homered the opposition in the playoffs 17 to 3 to 5, rather. Pretty good advantage.
That is getting runs in a hurry. Home runs. You know, they were knocked, and Torrey says he wanted to pitch left-handers against them, but he had 20. They're 27 and 20 against left-handed pitching this year. 2-0 in this World Series.
Got a lineup that can do it both ways. Well, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Kenny Rogers wanted that last call, didn't get it. He's got Lopez on at first base, and he's just taking a little extra time here as Jones stepped out against it. Andrew Jones, 3 home runs among the 5 hits he has picked up in the series. Takes it down low, 3-2.
There's a young man who started an A-ball, 19 years old, made it all the way to the World Series in 1 year. Hit .379 against left-handed pitching in his call-up. He is what you call a tools player. 5 tools. Great power, speed.
Torrey's already very concerned about Rogers.
Yep. He doesn't have a lot of patience when Rogers is on the mound.
Fights it off, 3-2. Runner not going that time. Pat Corrales, the first base coach, went over to talk to Javi Lopez. He's doing it again. He's getting right up there with him, while the third base coach, Jimmy Williams, goes through the signs. Corrales concerned here to make sure Lopez knows if he's supposed to be running here with nobody out on a 3-2 count. Maybe to avoid the double play. 29 thrown already by the left-hander Kenny Rogers.
Yeah, first base coaches lots of times will give it away when a guy's going to be running. I used to watch them. Sometimes they would wink at the runner or give a little nod of their head saying, yeah, you are running this time. Those guys, you got to watch everybody if you're a catcher just to get the edge.
Pat Corrales, the first base coach. Behind Larry Young, the umpire. Runner not going inside. He walked him. So after the home run by McGriff, which he tried to shrug off, he has given up 2 walks here to Lopez and Jones with nobody out.
You can shrug it off. You still have to perform on the field. I mean, sometimes you call Kenny Rogers. Remember Kenny Rogers, the gambler, the movie The Gambler? Well, you can have a poker face. You still have to be able to do the job. You would expect some activity in that bullpen pretty soon.
Base hit right here or another walk would get some action. A book that has all the numbers, every hitter against each pitcher, different circumstances that they hit in. Here's Jermaine Dye getting back into the lineup after not starting in last night's game. He's 2 for 9 in the series, and the pitch is outside. He is a .323 hitter against left-handers. That's why he's back in there.
And just like that, Kenny Rogers is completely out of sync. Not throwing the ball towards the plate. That'll get Mel Stottlemyre on the phone.
Rogers to Dye, way outside again. 2 balls and no strikes.
And this is a guy, Rogers, they get signed for 4 years, $20 million. So it's not something that they can just shrug off. He's here for a while, and it's not very happy to Joe Torre. You see Brian Boehringer getting up in the Yankee bullpen.
He's thrown 20 pitches this inning now, and 13 of them have been out of the strike zone. That's not good. Gets a little help on the cut there by Dye. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Gary, the home run is one thing. Fred McGriff is going to hit home runs. You can't put base runners on with free passes.
He's got 2 of them on here. Still nobody out. And Dye lofts that one to right field. Strawberry circles under. Tag made. Going over to third. Lopez. Good heads-up base running by Javi Lopez. First and third now with 1 away.
Nice job of hitting by Jermaine Dye. Bobby Cox didn't put the bunt on. He let him swing away, trying to advance the runner. Remember last night it was Charlie Hayes. Tonight it's the Braves doing fundamental baseball. Advance runners, and you got a guy up at the plate now in Blauser who you can do a lot of things with. You can squeeze, you can hit and run. So it's a lot of options for manager Bobby Cox.
Lopez, decent speed on at third base. Andrew Jones, good speed at first. Blauser 1 for 9 here in the World Series, is 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position here in the postseason. Well, I'm sorry, 1 for 8 for Blauser, runner in scoring position. Takes that one away. He's got a chance here. He's had only 2 RBIs in the playoffs so far. He's not expected to be one of their most productive hitters, but he can be dangerous. He gets the bat on the ball.
And as a catcher, you know a squeeze may be on. You're watching the hitter to see if he'll tip it off in any way. And what I mean by that is sometimes they grab the top of their bat. They may touch the top of their helmet. As a hitter, you have to respond to the squeeze sign, because you don't want that base runner charging down the line and then the hitter swinging away. So you have a response from the hitter back to the third base coach to let you know that he has the squeeze sign.
Bobby Cox wants to get a run here. He's got the pitcher waiting on deck to hit. First and third. And the pitch is up high. 2 balls and no strikes.
Gary, do you see the follow through of Kenny Rogers? He's throwing it and hoping it's in the strike zone. Not as aggressive as the Braves pitchers in the strike zone. It's almost like, okay, here it is. I'm going to stay there, hope it goes in the strike zone.
Trying to direct it in.
Directing it, steer it in, aiming it, let it go.
2-0 count here. Just as good as a bunt, maybe. Nope, goes foul. A full cut slow roller right there. 2-1.
Heads up play by Girardi to let that ball go foul. Little squibber off the end of the bat. Right now it's a fair ball. Fair ball, fair ball. Right there he decides let it go foul, and it does. Look at the runner at third base. He's trying to make up his mind. He sees it's a little squibber. He can get to score, but it's a foul ball.
1 down, 1 run in on the homer by McGriff here in the second inning. Lopez on at third. Andrew Jones on at first base. Braves trying to add to it here in the second inning. Blauser. A 2-ball 1-strike count. Infield looking for the ground ball to turn 2. Andrew Jones not very far off that bag at first.
One thing about Kenny Rogers, the whole year there was only 6 stolen base attempts the entire year against Rogers. 3 for 3. They were only successful 3 times, but that's an amazing number. Only 6 attempts.
Stottlemyre gave his signs to the catcher, wanted to throw to first base again. Obviously here, in case there's a squeeze on, he'd love to make a throw over to first and catch the runner jumping a little bit ahead of it and have a chance to pick him off third, but Lopez is hanging tight. Girardi gets a signal again from Stottlemyre. Count 2-ball 1-strike 1 down. Jones off first. Squeezes on. He gets it down. No play at the plate. Nobody at first. The Yankees did not cover first. It'll be a base hit for Blauser and an RBI. And a 2-0 lead for Atlanta.
The changeup, an easy pitch to bunt. You see Girardi telling Rogers first base, the only problem is Duncan's not there. And it's amazing to think that Rogers can hold up on this throw. Normally right there, how do you stop? Watch Duncan right here. Let's see what he does. Let's see what Duncan does. He sees the squeeze. What's he doing? He's jogging now. His position is to cover first. He cannot get there.
Wow. Now another bunt likely here. Denny Nagel, the pitcher, coming up. Blauser gets his third postseason RBI. And lays it down the third baseline. A good bunt. Charlie Hayes gets Denny Nagel, but Nagel, who was tied for the league lead in sacrifices with 16, shows you why. He moves the runners up with 2 down.
Well, that's it. Do the fundamental things. The squeeze, the sacrifice bunt. You do the little things over and over and you win games. Nice bunt by Nagel to advance the runners, and a base hit here. 2-out base hit by Grissom, and you have a 4-0 lead.
Denny Nagel, a very good bunter. In fact, this whole Atlanta pitching staff are great bunters. They've got 3 of the top 10 sacrifice people in the National League on this staff. Well, big moment early in this game. Second inning. Kenny Rogers. Marquise Grissom with 2 on. Takes it inside for a ball. Grissom has gone 3 for 11 in the postseason with runners in scoring position. He's got a chance here to add 2 more RBIs to his total. 2 runs in. And Kenny Rogers trying to fight his way through it here with the Braves up 2-0. 1-1.
That's something that Rogers needs to do more and more. Start throwing strikes with the fastball inside, because keep the hitters away from the balls away. You have to pitch effectively inside to get that strike away.
Good stop by Girardi. Pitch in the dirt. 2-1. Andrew Jones will be awake there at third just in case.
Grissom, a .308 hitter with runners in scoring position and 2 outs this year.
Kenny Rogers, this is the 30th pitch he's thrown this inning. Swung on, grounded into center field for a base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes Blauser. Try for a double. He's got it. Marquise Grissom.
Well, Grissom caught everybody napping after the base hit. That should be a single, but he's just made it a double from the time he hit the ball. Talked about the walks by Rogers. No excuse for that, but great hustle by Grissom. Watch this. He is going all the way. That's a base hit to left. A little slow retrieving the ball. He never hesitates. He turns it on and makes it easy.
Marquise Grissom, 2 RBIs on a double. He's now hit in all 10 World Series games he has played in, and has the chop shop at work. Mark Lemke. This looks like games 1 and 2 all over again.
You can't give them free passes. As a Yankee pitcher, you got to make them get their way on. Rogers, after the home run, completely fell apart.
Grissom has 4 RBIs now in this series. Lemke grounds it to short. Jeter running throw, and will get him. 8 men come to the plate in the second inning, and the Atlanta Braves, behind a home run by McGriff and a big 2 RBI double by Grissom, have taken a 4-0 lead.
You see the difference in a team once they get a little break here and there, and they really get aggressive. And that's what we mean by aggressive: running a lot, swinging the bat, to being very aggressive in all areas of the game.
So Fred McGriff's home run opens it up for the Braves, and they start putting pressure on the Yankees. It results in 3 more runs. The Yankees are now down 4-0. Nagel's first pitch to Mariano Duncan is fouled off for a strike, so it's no balls and 1 strike. Let's get back to Atlanta.
Just don't know what Duncan was thinking on the squeeze bunt. He knows his responsibility is first base.
I honestly don't remember seeing that for a long time. That kind of mistake in the field. Lemke makes the play on Duncan. 1 away here in the 3rd inning. It's kind of a vapor lock, it looked like. He didn't jump.
He didn't realize what was going on, the situation. I don't know. The only thing I could think of, maybe he thought Cecil, because he saw Rogers was going to field the ball, Cecil was just going to back up to first base and take the throw. Cecil just followed the ball in, which is that's his responsibility. There's no excuse for Duncan not getting to first base, and that cost him a run.
Fundamentals again. Pitch high by Denny Nagel, and Girardi launches it go behind him. Joe Girardi, the Yankee catcher, has gone 0 for 5 here in the World Series. 192 overall in the postseason play. Waiting his first major league at bat, if he indeed gets it.
And it looks like he is, Gary, because nobody's warming up.
Nope. Good play by Chipper Jones. This is the converted shortstop playing third base, who has made in the last 2 nights some sparkling plays at third base.
They play way off the line. It's amazing how far Chipper Jones plays off the line, the backhand play and the strong throw. They really go by the scouting reports. Remember, I said they had scouts following the Yankees probably 6 weeks in case they were going to meet in the World Series.
They're using him, aren't they? Here's Rogers. Has never had a major league at bat. The designated hitter rule in the American League does not apply in the World Series when we play in the National League's park. So Rogers has to hit here. And a 1-1 count, 2 down, nobody on. 8 in a row have been retired by Denny Nagel.
And I told you last night, American League pitchers only 5 hits in their last 130 at bats.
Chipper Jones. Kenny Rogers racing. He's got a base hit. He's a 1,000 major league batting average.
How about that? Make that 6 hits now for American League pitchers in 131 at bats. Look at this. Has not swung probably since Little League or high school. Look at this line drive. The reaction at third knocks it down. Base hit.
So Denny Nagel had retired all the position players and then gives up his first hit to Kenny Rogers. Maybe that'll loosen him up on the mound a little bit, make him a little more aggressive as a pitcher. We'll see. Well, now he becomes a base runner for the first time, and here's Tim Raines.
And that's when crazy things can happen. You get those pitchers on the base paths. Oh, look out.
First, he's got to look and find out where second base is.
You start playing a little Nintendo baseball, 1 base at a time.
Raines struck out his first time up, and the pitch is up high. 2 balls and no strikes.
See, the other thing is Willie Randolph can't give any signs to Kenny Rogers. Probably doesn't know him. What he'll have to do is go to Jose Cardinal if anything happens to be on. I don't think so with the 4-0 lead.
And that's fouled off outside of third. And a 2-1 count.
One thing that should be mentioned, the Yankees in their first 5 postseason victories this year have all been come from behind victories. They were down 4-0 to the Texas Rangers, and they wound up coming back in that ball game, the clinching game. And that was the largest deficit a Yankee team has ever come back in postseason.
And Raines drives it to right field. Jermaine died. So Kenny Rogers gets the base hit, but he will be left stranded. Nagel has given up only 1 hit in the game, and Atlanta's got a 4-0 lead.
Against Atlanta, they're really tough. I played in the World Series that the team that was ahead lost the game. Every single game, 7 games. So you never know what'll happen. The Yankees can't get down there. They can't afford it. They've got to come back and score a few runs.
Now, Kenny Rogers, you were mentioning, he's got that reputation of not being able to stand up under pressure, but comes up with the pressure of having to hit and gets his first ever hit.
Gets the hit, but that's the wrong area to be to be loose in. He's got to be a good pitcher. That comes first.
Okay, the first pitch now. Slow curveball to Chipper Jones, and that misses by a mile, so it's 1 ball, no strikes to Chipper Jones. Let's get back to Atlanta.
On the fastball, 1 ball, 1 strike.
We have to go back to game 1, originally scheduled for Saturday. The rain forced 5 days in a row without an off day, or else Kenny Rogers would not have been on the mound tonight. Joe Torre said Andy Pettit would have gone if there was an off day, but he was forced to use Kenny Rogers.
And that one golfed into center field for a base hit. Big turn. Jones will stay. A 9-iron shot that time, and the leadoff batter on here in the 3rd inning.
Look at Kenny Rogers' lines in game 4 in this postseason. Earned runs 4, 4, 2. And it seemed like Torre always made the right move. The one thing the Yankees did win those first 2 ball games when he was on the mound.
Not many innings. And Joe Torre is concerned again. Here is Fred McGriff. The home run came in the 2nd inning, and he takes a strike. He got his 5th of the postseason.
See Girardi outside, fastball down the middle. He just crushes this ball to center field.
Fred McGriff up there with a runner on at first base. And the breaking ball misses outside. 4 hits for the Braves so far in the ball game. Fred McGriff here at home had 17 home runs, 11 on the road. And Bullringer's up again. Second time Brian Bullringer has been up in the last 2 innings. He's the long relief man tonight. 1-1 the count. That one ripped foul. Boy, I'll tell you, he'll bring you right out of your seat with that swing when he hits a ball. And it's a ball and 2 strikes. Fred McGriff looks like he's got the beach ball look out there, the way he's swinging right now. He's seeing the ball.
On fire. 2 home runs, 6 RBIs in this series.
Rogers checking the base runner. Jones scrambling back.
What McGriff really does, you watch his front foot. Watch his front foot if you can. He will take that front foot and stride towards the plate. That keeps him closed and able to handle a left-hand pitcher.
Up the middle, McGriff's got another base hit. On his way to 3rd, Chipper Jones. Here's the throw. Williams. It'll be cut off by the shortstop Jeter. And McGriff is 2 for 2.
McGriff just keeps wearing out the left-handed starters from the Yankees, and that's because fundamentally he's very sound. And another rough outing for Kenny Rogers. Torre's on the way. He's made the move. Another 2-inning performance for Rogers, a guy they paid $20 million to acquire in the offseason.
Rick, this is his worst nightmare. We mentioned at the start, George Steinbrenner, the owner of the New York Yankees, said to him after the game last night, want a big start out of you, need you. He said, I'll give it to you.
And that wasn't what George Steinbrenner, that's, you see George in the picture, did not get what he promised.
A 4-0 lead. Look to the pen when we come back.
And the man in the white
The
turtleneck.
tapes where there are great plays being made or home runs, and it's a fun part of the game.
And now Brian Bullringer's the new pitcher. He came in game 1. He went 3 innings, allowed 5 hits and 5 runs.
Yeah, he's had problems, not only in the series here, but during the season. He doesn't have exceptional stuff, but he's a kid who has a lot of gump, and he'll go out there and try.
So the first pitch from Bullringer to Javier Lopez, and Lopez drives it to the warning track in center for a sacrifice fly that scores Chipper Jones, and Fred McGriff goes to 2nd. Let's go back to Atlanta.
Comes up throwing, but good hustle by McGriff, getting himself in the scoring position. That is a play that's very rarely done And it should be done more times because you can read that. It's in front of you. If you think you can make it, take advantage of it.
Javi Lopez gets his first RBI of this series, and the Braves have a 5-0 lead. One away. Pitches outside to Andrew Jones, who drew a walk and scored in the second inning. Kenny Rogers fell behind the count in 7 of the batters he faced, and 5 of those ended up reaching base. He did not get ahead, and it cost him. Walked a couple. They both scored. Breaking ball by Brian Boehringer misses down low. 2-0.
And I know we've mentioned it a couple of times, but when your best hitter in your lineup, your RBI guy, is the most productive against left-handed pitching, why start so many lefties against them? I know that's their rotation, but it was done deliberately, more so because of the switch hitters in the lineup. All the switch hitters in the Braves lineup don't handle the ball from the left side, from a left-handed pitcher as well as they do from the right side. Torrey felt he wanted to just try to neutralize that, but they forgot to look at McGriff's numbers overall. He is the best hitter against them. He's right in the middle of that lineup.
And he has made them pay. Strike on the outside corner. That'll take the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes on Andrew Jones. There is Fred McGriff on at second base. A 5-0 lead for the Atlanta Braves. 5 runs on 5 hits here so far in this game. Andrew Jones has gone 3 for 4 in the postseason with runners in scoring position, so the 19-year-old has got another chance here. We've mentioned when leadoff batters get on to start an inning, it dramatically increases your ability to score runs. Take a look at these interesting numbers.
Yeah, Kenny Rogers, 31 of 73 batters reached base, only 42.5% scored. It sounds like a lot, but that was the best average in that American League. Denny Nagel on the same thing. The NL average 54% of the times when a leadoff batter reaches base.
And a strike on the inside corner. So Boehringer comes back after falling behind, and Andrew Jones is called out on strikes. There are 2 down now in the 3rd inning.
Goes back inside, catches the inside part of the plate, freezes Jones.
Brian Boehringer got hammered in a relief appearance in Game 1. He went 2 2/3 innings, gave up 5 runs, 3 earned on 5 hits in that performance at Yankee Stadium in Atlanta's 12-1 win. He comes on here for his 2nd appearance in the World Series. 2 down. McGriff on at second base. This is with a slider to Jermaine Dye. Dye has struggled here trying to get people home. 2 for 14 with runners in scoring position in the postseason. Not been productive. And overswings that one. 1-1.
Got to be careful with the breaking ball to Jermaine Dye. For a young player, he has come up to the big leagues, and he is an excellent breaking ball hitter. You make a mistake with a breaking ball, and that's the curve or slider, he crushes it.
Brian Boehringer off the fist, right field. Strawberry in the corner, will run out of room. Foul ball. Jermaine Dye, a couple of hits and 10 at-bats here in the World Series. Youngster getting the start in right field tonight. He will be around this Atlanta Braves team for a long time to come. Just 22 years old, 281 minor league career batting average.
Yeah, Gary, there's also talk already. David Justice, who missed most of the year, is on the trading block because you have Jermaine Dye and Andrew Jones.
Klesko and Grissom. Youngsters coming up as well. Off the fist, popped that one up to short. And that will be handled by Jeter. So Boehringer comes on to get the outs as all of the runs will be charged to the starter, Kenny Rogers. 1 added here in the 3rd inning. Couple of hits and 1 left on. The Braves lead it 5-0.
Pitch up in the strike zone where you can hit it up in the air, get that runner in, and you got to hit it far enough so the outfielder doesn't throw you out at home plate. you've done your job.
And Rick Cerrone pointed out Fred McGriff, very aggressive and very heads up, taking second base, which isn't done all that often on the sacrifice
and
fly.
McGriff really doesn't run that well, and he really did a nice job getting to second base and scoring position.
Denny Nagel's first pitch to Derek Jeter's high for ball one. Jeter in the first inning struck out swinging, and let's go back to Atlanta.
Glad you recognize the humanitarian when you see him, though. I appreciate that. Yeah. 2-ball, no strike count on Jeter. He struck out his first time up. Nagel's not walked anybody and has struck out 2. Denny Nagel doesn't walk many. Only 2 per 9 innings, tied for 6th best in that department. So of course he falls behind here, 3-0.
It's automatic when you start talking about a pitcher's control. Ball 2, ball 3.
Guaranteed, right on cue. 3-0 count on Jeter. It's the fastball into it. Bobby Cox managing a club that has put up more wins in the 90s than any other team in baseball. These Atlanta Braves, the first National League team to win 5 consecutive division awards, and that one's outside. Bobby Cox has been the man who's led the charge. He has been both a GM and a manager. Was in Toronto in the American League, was a GM here, left to go to Toronto, then came back as the manager of the Braves, and one of the highly respected people in baseball. He's a good one.
We talked about that leadoff walk or leadoff hit in an inning. Nagel, 42.3% of the time that run scores. That was the 5th best total in the National League. Seems like a high number, but it's really not.
No. First out is essential if you're going to have a successful pitching outing. Bernie Williams asked for a little timeout to dig in here. He flied out his first time up. Nagel now has thrown a first pitch out of the strike zone to the last 6 batters. See if he can get a strike here to get ahead. He does. Blauser, Lemke, McGriff.
A lot of what we saw in the first 2 ball games. Yankees swinging early in the count, not working the count on the pitcher, hitting into double plays. And this is just tailor-made. Blauser, the underhand toss. Lemke, one of the best in the business at turning the double play.
So Denny Nagel throws a strike, and boy, does it work for him. They turn 2 here. 2 down. Cecil Fielder coming up. In this ballpark, you want ground ball pitchers. It is a ballpark that gives up home runs. That's one of the reasons Greg Maddux is so successful here. He's the most pronounced ground ball pitcher. Nagel not only is a left-hander, but he's a ground ball pitcher. Keeps it in the yard. You want that. Tommy Glavine's a ground ball pitcher. Avery really is the only one who gives up a lot of fly balls in their starting staff. That really helps here in this yard to have guys like Nagel pitching. It prevents the opposition from their chances to get the fly ball. Avery, on the other hand, will give up a few. Bobby Cox likes to use him more on the road than at home. Right now, he's just sitting around watching games. Denny Nagel ahead on the count here. Ball and 2 strikes. One, two down. Fans applauding for Nagel.
I did a little research today. Important. Remember we were talking about Bobby Cox and the bubble gum, and he throws it on the ground a lot. Pat Corrales, the first base coach, says it's unbelievable, Rick. There's all bubble gum sticking to cleats on everybody on their uniform. Now see, these are things that you don't get in the normal broadcast.
Well, this is certainly not a normal broadcast.
Remember last night the bubble gum, and he fires it down. Pat Corrales, the first base coach, was telling me, Rick, it's unbelievable. You'll be walking, you step, and it's big wads of gum. You'll step, and all of a sudden you got that gum underneath you. You got to start pulling it out of your cleats. He said, as long as we keep winning, he doesn't do it as much.
Cecil Fielder fouls it off. May I tell you that I had the opportunity to
step on a couple of pieces
tonight.
Did you?
Yeah, I hung my jacket up in the dugout, had to go back to get it, and suddenly felt under my foot this huge squishing sound. I looked down and there it was. It must have been 19 pieces of bubble gum. It was huge. It was a mountain.
Big wads that he does.
That's why I haven't gotten up here in the booth. Pitch is up high, and Cecil Fielder is on. And Denny Nagel, as we said, who averages only 2 walks per 9 innings, has walked 2 here in the 4th inning. Bobby Cox has got the job of going on this cool night. A little concern. Leo Mazzoni's not rocking. Sitting up and wondering, wait a minute, 2 walks in 1 inning off Denny Nagel.
Boy, Bobby's a smart man. Doesn't miss many things. Well, constantly watching. His eyes are always moving. There's Greg Maddux is just going to try to give him a little advice. Get that bubble gum back in there. Put the coffee down. Work the gum over.
Here's Charlie Hayes, 2 down, a runner at first base. We talked about that in last night's game. That constant conversation, not only among the players with Atlanta talking baseball, but Bobby Cox is in and out of those conversations, talking about the game and the situation. They do that all season long, especially here where the players have built that high seat in the dugout where they can sit up there and watch the games, and Bobby kind of moves around behind them.
You know, you learn so much more talking to players, the veteran players. Sometimes coaches can help you, but really your teammates are the ones you go to for advice.
Yes, missed outside with it. A 2-ball 1-strike count on Hayes, who's 0 for 7 here in the World Series. The Atlanta Braves have a 5-0 lead. Only 1 hit off Denny Nagel so far, and that was a single by Kenny Rogers in his first major league at bat. That's it. Now Rogers is out of the game. Rogers worked 2+ innings, 5 runs on 5 hits, walked 2 and struck out none.
That's right. Earlier in the year, Charlie Hayes and Denny Nagel teammates with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Charlie Hayes gets traded to the Yankees. Nagel goes to the Braves, and they're both in the World Series. Pretty good moves from a team that was in last place, the Pirates.
3-1 the count. And do you believe this? 3 walks in this inning by Denny Nagel. The double play looming enormous.
There's got to be something wrong with the mound. These are guys, Nagel especially, has pretty good control. 62 total pitches for Nagel. 34 balls, 28 strikes here in the 4th inning. A lot of pitches early in the game.
It's very unusual for him to have that bad ratio of balls to strikes.
You know, I was just kidding about the mound. What happens is pitchers just don't want to throw the ball in the strike zone. We talked about it in the 1st inning before the first hitter. Both Nagel and Rogers want you to swing at bad pitches. When you lay off and you're patient, you can work counts in your favor. That's why after the Jeter walk, Bernie Williams goes after the first pitch. I know he's your best hitter up there, but sometimes it's better to work the count against guys like Nagel or Rogers. They will walk you if you let them.
Well, let's see if the Yankees can take advantage of this now. Here's Darryl Strawberry. Kenny Rogers on the bench, out of the game, watching. Strawberry up, 2 down, runners at first and second. They've got the shift on, and he takes a strike. Last time Strawberry grounded out to the shortstop, Jeff Blauser, who's playing exactly where he's playing right now, right up the middle. 0-1 the count. Fielder off second, Hayes off first, and the step off here by Denny Nagel.
And this game is slowed down to a halt. When pitchers want to start nibbling and not throw strikes, it slows down the pace. Look at the defense. Only 1 guy, Chipper Jones, on the left side of the infield.
Off speed pitch, 0-2.
Big situation in the ball game for the Yankees. You need to get on the board. You're down 5-0, 1 run at a time here in the 4th inning. For the Braves, You have to make the pitch against Strawberry because he can hurt you with one swing of the bat. Good, Gary. Straw can get you right back in the game with one swing. And he's done it a lot this year.
And that's why he's in there in this game tonight, and was last night. Fielder and Hayes on. Nagel and Strawberry engaged. Breaking ball missed outside, 1-2.
Well, that's a tough pitch to lay off. That's the breaking ball that starts at the middle of the plate. The hitter sees it. It is just very difficult to lay off. This ball right to that point, Straw is thinking contact. Tough pitch to lay off, but he did.
Lenny Nagel with a 1-2 count. Oh, did he tie him up? What a breaking ball from Nagel. Danny Nagel throws Darryl Strawberry with a curveball. Despite 3 walks in the inning, the Yankees cannot score, and Atlanta still leads it.
And I love that crime dog music by Brian Boehringer on the mound for the Yankees. Jeff Blauser, who bunted in a run for the Atlanta Braves, is up at bat. Let's go back to Atlanta.
Blauser had a big bunt single in the 2nd inning and picked up an RBI, his first of this World Series, on a squeeze play that went awry for the Yankees. They never got a play on him at first base, and Mariano Duncan failed to get over to cover the bag. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You notice that little device on Blauser's hand. He was hitting the hand early in the season, broke a bone, missed some time. Look at it on his bottom hand. You see that black piece of equipment. Just for some added protection. See it? It almost blends in with the batting glove. Right there. You see that? Watch this. When he gets set, that's maybe made out of some fiberglass. But he was hit on the wrist earlier and was put on the disabled list.
We have more protective guards over the past few years created in baseball than I've ever seen.
Oh, it's almost like robo baseball.
Yeah. There's a protection device for virtually every part of your body if you need to have one. Some are specially made now. They've got one that's for your upper arm for guys who get hit in the upper arm muscle area. It's like a shin guard for the arm. Jammed him that time, fouled it back, 2-2.
I think the best is Mo Vaughn for the Red Sox, last year's American League MVP. He's got a piece of equipment on just about every part of his body when he comes in there, and that's why hitters have no fear anymore on the ball inside, and pitchers don't want to pitch inside because the hitter's got so much protection.
Here's the 2-2 delivery, and it's a 3-ball 2-strike count. Now, when you played as a catcher, you had those little cardboard masks, right, that you wore back then? And
well, it wasn't that long ago.
Oh, wasn't that long ago?
No, but masks have really got a lot lighter.
3-2 delivery off the fists again. Foul back, no play.
I was waiting for you to say, and you used to leave your catcher's glove at home plate.
You didn't?
You know, when the guys, remember,
the players
years
would leave
ago,
their gloves out there.
leave it at the position. You'd shared gloves. Not that old.
Oh, okay.
Charlie O'Brien, the catcher for the Blue Jays, has designed a hockey-style mask. And I know you're familiar with hockey. And I tried it on, and actually it's very light. What it did, it pushed your face a lot closer to the ball.
Interesting. Swung on and missed. And Boehringer gets his 2nd strikeout as Blauser's retired, one away in the 4th inning. Would it help a catcher? I mean, does that?
Oh, it was great. I tell you, it was real lightweight. The only thing catcher's masks have a lot of padding. See, look at the padding up here. Let's watch the foul tip. Goes right through it. But what it did, it took away the padding and it moved your face closer to the front of the mask, and you had better vision. And it was all one piece. You didn't need the helmet and the mask. It was all one piece. It just slipped over your head. See here, it's a helmet and a mask. I kind of liked it.
Good idea. Denny Nagel up, sacrificed his first at-bat. 12 for 69 as a hitter during the season with Pittsburgh and Atlanta. 1 down, nobody on here in the 4th inning, and a strike taken. In hockey, the masks the goaltenders wear now have beautiful painting on them. that will happen in baseball, and they'll become big collectors.
Well, actually, Charlie O'Brien had one
Yeah.
with the big Blue Jay logo. They made him tone it down. They just wanted it like in a really cut down version. But see, baseball's missing the point. You'd be able to market that and promote the game, something colorful, exciting.
And it doesn't interfere with anything.
No, it doesn't at all.
1 ball, 2 strike count on Nagel, and he's gone. And Boehringer has his 3rd strikeout. 2 away in the 4th inning. Very important now, Brian Boehringer's job. With Kenny Rogers lasting only 2+ innings and giving up the 5 runs, Boehringer now has got to give them quality innings here, not letting the Braves go any further up in this game if the Yankees are going to have a chance.
On the American League, he could stay around 4 or 5 innings trying to do that. National League, you're not going to let Boehringer hit. He's coming up in the next inning, I believe, so he'll be pinched hit for. But that's what the bullpen has to do, and the Yankee bullpen has done that in the postseason.
Grounded towards short by Marquise Grissom. Play made by Jeter, and a good inning for Boehringer. He retires the side in order here in the 4th. And from Fulton County Stadium in Atlanta, the Braves with a 5-0 lead.
Will pitch well again, I've got a feeling, until later innings. So
Now, while we were gone, they were doing a little card show in Atlanta where the people pick up the cards on the seats, and you get a red section and a white section and a blue section. Now, the day was for Kirby Puckett, the Minnesota Twins outfielder, who was the man of the year, so they gave him a little precision. The difference between Atlanta and New York, there you see it, 1996 man of the year, Kirby Puckett. Now, in New York, they'd take those cards, they'd beat each other over the head with them. But in Atlanta, everybody picks them up, flashes them up. They say flash, we flash. There you see Kirby Puckett up there in the red. Nice little gesture for a player whose career was prematurely ended by glaucoma in his eye. Terrible, terrible situation.
Great player. Great for baseball, public relations-wise. He was a wonderful guy. Baseball will miss him, and it is a nice tribute to him. He deserves it.
Yeah. Let's get back to Atlanta now. But no, we're not ready to go back to Atlanta. They haven't finished giving the award to Kirby Puckett. So he was in the World. You may remember when the Twins were in the World Series. And Kirby Puckett had one phenomenal game where not only did he get home runs and hits, but he made a great catch at the wall, and he's only a little guy. And there we are, the first out, as Mariano Duncan grounds out to third base. Denny Nagel gets the first one. That'll bring up Joe Girardi, the catcher, and we should expect to have a pinch hitter for Brian Boehringer as well. Let's get back to Atlanta.
The last pitcher to start a postseason game for Atlanta other than the current 4. All the way back to 91. He's the last one to start. Left-hander.
That's including Avery, right?
Including Avery.
Wow.
Swung on a miss. That's how long and consistent this current staff has been for the Braves.
And that's why they've been in the World Series 4 out of the last 5 years.
Yep.
How about Denny Nagel, the 4th starter? 13 innings, only 3 hits allowed in the postseason. That's pretty good numbers.
Makes that deal look better and better, doesn't it?
And that's your 4th guy.
That's your 4th guy, yeah. Former Pittsburgh Pirate has walked 3, struck out 3, given up 1 hit to the opposing pitcher. Nagel working here. Girardi. Now we're going to have some problems. All those cards are starting to come out of the stands. They're going to go out in the field to pick some up here. They apparently make pretty good paper airplanes. Thank goodness they didn't try this in New York.
Big planes, too.
Little help here in the outfield. Andrew Jones in left field dunked one over the wall. Somebody right now involved in this promotion is going, oh no, I never thought of this. Nagel's pitch reached for, grounded by Girardi. Nagel. Little gold glove work right there defensively. 2 down.
Looked like he had to go to the backhand to make the play. Change up way off the plate and down. Let's watch him. Feels his position. The backhand and the toss.
Wow. And there are 2 down. We will get a pinch hitter now. Luis Sojo will come on for Brian Boehringer. Boehringer worked 2 solid innings as he struck out 3, did not walk anybody. Sojo, the pinch hitter, takes a strike on the outside corner. There's Brian Boehringer. Good job. 2 down, bases empty here. Luis Sojo. And a strike on the outside corner from Denny Neagle. He wasn't too sure about that. David Weathers up in the Yankee bullpen will be the 3rd Yankee pitcher. 2 away, bases empty. Sojo takes the pitch outside. Well, the Yankee bullpen has had a 1.9 earned run average in the postseason game, so they are being asked to keep it right there as they've got to go long out of the pen tonight, and Sojo delivers a pinch hit. The 2nd hit off Denny Neagle, and both have come in the 9 hole, one by a pitcher and one by a pinch hitter. Two down and a runner on. There's Cal Ripken, the Roberto Clemente Award winner last year, the Baltimore Orioles shortstop, who has broken Lou Gehrig's record, of course, for consecutive games played, and is still breaking it.
The Iron Man. 2,316 consecutive games now.
Tim Raines first ball hitting center field. Marquise Grissom way back, warning track, reaches up and hauls it in. Smooth as silk. A Gold Glove center fielder right there. Made the tough play look easy. No runs, a base hit, and 1 left on. The Braves 5-0.
Now you remember Rico told you, Mark.
Texas Rangers helmet.
Could
up
be,
there.
yeah, close.
Yeah, very nice.
Very close, but
very, very
you know,
picturesque.
it's something you got to fly the flag when the World Series is on. Let's get back to Atlanta. And no, again, they're not ready. God, each time I try to do this,
They're slow
they just
down
don't wanna
south,
go.
you know,
Yep.
in the southern part of the United States. Atlanta, although they haven't been very slow winning world championships, they are an outstanding organization, and it's just a great team. And they're ahead right now. I'm not saying the Yankees
And
can't come back.
Rick Cerrone said they've won 4 of the last 5 World Series. Of course, the only reason they haven't won, they've been in 4 of the last 5 World Series. The only reason they weren't in the 5th was because it wasn't held. So they've been in all the last 4. And that's David Weathers now on the mound, who the Yankees picked up from Florida in mid-season. He's facing Mark Lemke. His first pitch was a ball, and I think now we can go back to Atlanta.
But has been able to hit above 300 in the World Series. Nobody else has ever done that. And he came into this game with a .325 World Series batting average and a .248 career batting average in the regular season.
Steps it up by
time.
75 points and big hits. He seems to be right in the middle of all the action.
And plays a very solid second base. David Weathers on, a 2-2 count on Lemke, leading it off here in the 5th inning. Chipper Jones and Fred McGriff will follow. It'll be a foul ball down the left field line. Braves here at home have won 4 and lost 2 in this postseason, while the Yankees, of course, have set the mark with 6 consecutive road wins this year. That had never been done before. Kind of ironic, because last year in their postseason play, they never won a game on the road in Seattle, team they faced and lost to. And Lemke goes down swinging. Weathers, good pitch, had him fooled. 1 away.
Yeah, last year against Seattle, the Yankees only had to win 1 of 3 in the Kingdome. They beat them 2 times in New York, and they lost all 3 in the Kingdome. The Mariners advanced to the American League Championship, only to lose to the Cleveland Indians, who lost to the Atlanta Braves in the World Series.
David Weathers 1 away, and Chipper Jones, who has singled and scored in the game, takes the pitch down low. He is 1 for 2 in the ball game. Not unusual that he gets on and scores. He was among the top 10 in runs scored in the National League during the regular season. Not someone you might think of as a table setter, but he crossed the plate 114 times, which was 9th most in the National League.
That tells you that big guy behind him, Fred McGriff, was driving him in a lot of times.
And he takes the pitch away. 3 balls and no strikes.
You know, Gary, one thing, there's big Fred McGriff, and Yankees have not been able to figure out a pitching pattern to McGriff this series. The thing I like about Chipper Jones, you see that bat movement? It's constantly moving. You watch as he sets up. He's got a movement in his bat. Watch, he wiggles it. And you know what that does? It relieves tension. See, just that little wiggle keeps you from getting real tight.
And he draws a walk. Another table setting job done. First walk given up by Weathers with 1 down here in the 5th.
See Torrey and Chris Chambliss on the right. But what that does, when you don't have tension in your swing, some guys they talk about it as sawdust in your hands. When you grip the bat so tight, you try to make sawdust. But you're not going to have a fluid swing. You're not going to have a quick swing. You have to be relaxed but aggressive through the hitting area, and this guy does it very well.
Yeah, that 462 World Series average for him. Weathers down low. McGriff has homered and singled in this game. An RBI home run came leading off the 2nd off Kenny Rogers. Braves trying to add to their 5-0 lead here against the Yankees. They're looking for a 3-1 edge, and a balk is called. Weathers says, what did I do? It was the second base umpire, Jerry Davis, who made the balk call. Joe Torre's coming out to protect his pitcher here.
And he wants an explanation. Sometimes a pitcher will start his motion and then stop it. That would be considered a balk. Let's watch Dave. See that little move, the little hand movement. Let's watch it again if we can. That is a balk. See, Torrey really can't see that from the dugout, but we clearly can see it on our replay, and that's what the second base umpire had to look at. Second balk in the playoffs in this series. Pettit had a balk earlier in game 1.
It's all it takes. It's not much of a movement, but
yeah, he just started right behind him. He moved the ball from one spot to the other. You can't do that. Once you start your motion, you can't stop it.
May actually be a positive for the Yankees, because now they're going to walk McGriff.
There you go. Take the bat out of his hand. You should do that more often.
With first base open, Joe Torre holding up the 4 fingers for Girardi. Well, they want the intentional pass surrendered here. That'll also set up a possible double play with 1 out here in the 5th inning. And that will give Lopez the chance with the 2 base runners on as he waits on deck, and there's ball 4. So the intentional pass to McGriff. Bobby's not sure he liked that balk call or not at this point.
Yeah, Bobby says, I want my big guy to swing the bat.
Two balks called on the Yankees here in this World Series. See if this one has an impact. It changed the strategy. And now Javi Lopez, who has an RBI and a sac fly and has walked and scored. Not an official at bat in this game. He'll come up here with 2 on. Lopez has picked up his bat contact. He struck out 84 times in the regular season, but only twice in 51 plate appearances here in the playoffs. So he's making better contact in postseason than he did before.
We're going to go back to look. Now watch his arm right here. See where the ball is? Now watch just a little movement. Right there. See that? He moved it maybe 3 inches, and that's enough for a balk. Good call by the second base umpire.
That's the rule.
Can't start your motion and stop it.
I've often thought on that, Rick, that ought to be a little more discretionary with the umpires, whether they think it really deceives a base.
That didn't deceive the runner, but a rule is a rule,
yeah.
So they say. I remember years ago behind the plate, George Brett, home run against Gossage. We argued about the pine tar. That was clearly way over the limit. They measured, they ruled Brett out, but then a month later reversed the call. So a rule really isn't always a rule.
Sometimes the rule changes in
It can
midstream.
be changed. Not that the Pine Tar had anything to do with George Brett hitting that home run.
David Weathers.
See, he's got the split finger grip. Now we'll readjust it to the fastball grip or a slider grip inside the glove.
1-1 pitch. Javi Lopez takes it. That just missed inside. 2-1.
You know, you mentioned that Lopez not striking out a lot now. He has talked about seeing the ball as big as a balloon. And when you see it that way, you wind up getting hitters counts. You take the close pitches, they're called balls, like he just did, and you get a good pitch to hit.
2 on for him. Swung on and missed. Good sinker right there that fell out of the strike zone on Lopez and takes the count to 2-2. For Javi Lopez, 4 for 11 with runners in scoring position this postseason. The young catcher for the Atlanta Braves has Jones on at second base, McGriff on at first. Braves have a 5-0 lead here in the 5th inning. Weathers pitch, a called strike 3 in the inside corner. 2 down.
You knew it. You brought it up about the strikeouts. Whenever you do that, you know a guy's going to strike out. That's the slider away, then the sinker in, another sinker in for a ball, sinker down, he swings over, and then he takes the sinker on the inside part of the plate. Pretty good look from the center field camera how one ball goes down and into Javi Lopez, the other breaking ball goes down and away.
Weathers gets a big strikeout. Still 2 on, and now Andrew Jones called on again. Has walked and been called out on strikes himself. Wild cut on the breaking ball, down and away. Jones had an RBI opportunity earlier in this game. In the 3rd inning, he came up with a base runner on at second and popped out. Called out on strikes, rather. See what he does here. Two base runners on. Fastball inside, 1-1.
You know, for the people around the world that are hearing about Andrew Jones for the first time because of the 2 home run performance in game 1, this is a young man that's 19 years old, 2-time minor league player of the year. Minor leagues are what lead up to the big leagues. That's how players develop to make it here. This year in combined 3 different leagues, he hit .339, 34 home runs, and 92 RBI. Look at his home runs from game 1. High fastball from Pettit. See ya. Then Bollinger, the breaking ball, another one gone. So, I mean, this is a kid that has put his time in the minor leagues and has just dominated.
1-1 count on him. Girardi went out to talk to Weathers, who gets the strike on the outside corner. Trying to make him chase it.
I mentioned the 34 home runs combined, 92 RBI, 30 steals. So he's a 30-30 man combined in the minor leagues this year. And that's pretty hard feat to accomplish. So he's the total package. He can throw, he can run, hit for average, hit for power.
And he takes it down low.
It's scary. 19 years old.
Hometown in Curacao has not stopped celebrating yet.
Curacao Comet, I think.
Yeah, that's his nickname.
That's not a bad one. I kind of like it.
Small town. We grew up. Obviously extremely proud of this young man. Fouled off. Fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes on. 2 down, 2 on. Willemstad.
Sounds good to me. Supposedly it's a beautiful little island. The Yankees had a player a couple of years ago that came from Curacao. It was Hemsley Mullins. He's maybe listening down there. Our broadcast is going down to there, and he's this is another young player.
You see he's learning right there. That was the pitch David Weathers wanted to get him on. He had chased it a couple of times. We love you, man. For Andrew. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 3-2, 2 down, 2 on. Runners will be going. Swung on and grounded down to third. That'll be a fair ball. It was kicked into foul territory. 1 run is scored. Chased down. And an RBI double for Andrew Jones. 6-0 Braves.
Well, the Braves have shown a way of adding on. They had the 4 runs in the second inning. They find a way. Look at this ball. Just cannot come up with it. Charlie Hayes off his glove, knocks it into foul territory. Let's see it off the bat. 2 hopper. Just a little late getting the glove there. Off the glove, RBI double for Jones.
6 RBIs for Andrew Jones in the World Series. Chipper Jones, who'd walked, comes around to score. He has scored twice in this game now. They are mighty happy that island was discovered by the Atlanta Braves for Andrew Jones. A 6-0 lead. The 6th hit of the ball game. Jermaine Dye with 2 in scoring position. Check swing, went around. So Andrew Jones now is 4 for 6 in the playoffs with runners in scoring position. There's not much left that he hasn't done right.
And the great play in the outfield last night kept the game close. That's 4 walks for the Braves. 3 have scored tonight.
Well, grounded up the middle on the short hop. Jeter, good play. And that will retire Dye. But the Braves add another run on a hit, leave a couple on, and have a 6-0 lead. There's the man who delivered the big RBI double, Andrew Jones.